Welcome to the Living exhibition on World AIDS Day. For me personally, as someone living with HIV, I get on with my life. I take my one pill a day. I never think about it anymore. And the only time it ever interferes in my life at all is when the sort of the shame or ignorance or fear or stigma of it arises, not on my behalf, but on behalf of the people around me sometimes. And people often have discussions now, within the HIV community about what we can do about stigma and fear and ignorance and all of that. 40 years ago, the attitude to gay people in this country was horrific. And that has changed so dramatically over the last 40 years. And that didn't happen by giving people leaflets and information. It happened by the small, personal, yet powerful act of coming out. That is what changed people's attitudes. And what will eventually remove the stigma and fear and ignorance around HIV is when we get to a point where everyone feels able to be open and honest about it. This exhibition is a perfect example of people standing up, or in some cases sitting down, to be beautifully photographed, to be openly, honestly, proudly, even in a weird way, say, yes, I'm living with HIV, and look at me, I'm doing absolutely great.
To find the subjects, first of all, that was really down to Susan from HIV Ireland and Lisa from GCN, who put the call out, and we had a terrific response. And I just want to take this opportunity now to say thank you so much to everybody who got involved. And thank you for answering our call and for standing up and sharing your story with us. It really means the world. And obviously this exhibition wouldn't exist without those people. So thank you to everyone who did that.
1987, I was diagnosed, and so I was secretly taking hormones, but I did want to transition, and I found out as well that I could transition to become Rebecca. I must mention too, in all of our conversations, there's one thing that I think we should know as well. We went through all of this when there was no internet. We'd no way to find out anything. So for me, it was kind of very drastic. And then I had been told that I could anyway transition, but at the time, it was 1987, and it didn't matter what operation you were going for, you had to have an AIDS test, because it was the time with the tombstones falling out of the sky. It was bleak.
It was very difficult to actually put a public face to HIV when it hit us in the early 80s, because people knew they were going to be ostracized and othered. I don't want to pathologize my condition. I don't want to also apologize the fucking hurt of living through the AIDS pandemic, because it was brutal, it was horrible. But we also had fun, and we found ways to get on with it, and we found ways to deal with our grief and our loss and the devastation and everything, and have a good time and make friendships and push through it all. And I suppose, that's really the essence of living with HIV.
I'm quite vocal about living with HIV. I feel that it was important to me to challenge stigma and to stand up in solidarity with others who are living in silence. There's quite a lot of people still out there that can't talk about HIV. They haven't been able to tell their family, their friends, and that cuts them up quite a bit, It's really upsetting for them. They look for support, and it's true, like HIV Ireland and Sexual Health West and the supports that they give to people. Without them, I do think that quite a lot of people will be totally lost.
Doing this is unimaginable to the person I was 10 years ago. Sitting in public, openly gay, openly HIV positive, and talking about what happened to me. I thought I was going to take the whole experience to my grave. The experience for me was horrific. I mean, deeply, deeply traumatic, because I was an alcoholic, actively alcoholic. I was closeted. I don't know that I would change it now, because even though it was incredibly dark and painful, I wouldn't be the person who I am now, and I really like the person I am now, so.
Bring on fantasy, bring on the ascended masters, bring on ecology. Take what you need and give a little back. That's the new economy. Take what you need and give a little back. That's the new economy.